You know, insurance companies can issue moratoriums that prevent you from securing coverage when there's an impending storm. Homeowners, business owners, property owners, act now. Don't let your coverage leave you out in the rain. The licensed professionals at the Burns Agency are here to help. Call, email, or chat with us online today. Don't let the next natural disaster become an insurance disaster. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better Burns. Much better. So much better at Burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better at Burns. You buy better at Burns. You buy better.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzled Pride, your drug-free community coalition. We want to help you keep your kids safe during this challenging time. Social distancing is still in effect, and so is the social host law. Reports are coming in that teens are contracting the virus at underage drinking parties. Parents, allowing underage drinking on your property could land you in jail for up to a year, plus fines. Another reason why you should not provide alcohol to our youth. For more info, go to grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org. grizzledpride.org.
The latest news and weather. SNSN.
And good morning. Welcome back to the show. What's up, Rich?
Good morning.
It says we should not disappoint. It says that we are here with the latest local news and weather. So the weather is it's wet.
It was loud this morning too. Woke me up.
I didn't even hear it.
Nothing?
What time?
Let's say 1 o'clock maybe. Could have been later, but
all I can tell you is that when I am sleeping, I'm pretty much clinically dead.
I'll check.
I'm out. I'm gone. There's just nothing there. And I think basically because our bedroom is like 20 feet below the Earth's surface or something.
Oh, that helps. Yeah, ours is right on top.
I didn't hear anything.
The whole house shook.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was real loud. Even the dog got up.
The dog? My dogs don't wake up for anything. They when they wake up when they got to pee.
Oh, I did this morning, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, otherwise,
luckily I woke Kathy up because I would have just lay down, but she gets up. So the dog goes over to her face, sniffs it, pounces on her a couple times, gets her up, and has her go out. But then just started to sniff the grass, she said.
And that was it, huh?
That was it. As far as she knows. But
so we have some riveting news this morning, don't we?
We do. Firehouse is getting a new bathroom downstairs.
What?
Yes. It was approved.
It was approved through the Board of Borough Burgesses and Wardens, and
yeah, it actually has to be more handicap accessible. Everything in the firehouse. So,
okay, it's not.
It is for the most part, but I guess all the codes and everything that have to be met, like smooth floor, shiny.
Shiny. They have to be shiny.
No, I'm just making that up, but that's.
So is that the biggest news we can come up with
for
our area today? Is the bathrooms need to be redone at the public fire at the firehouse?
Well, I have a little list. I guess we looked on some of the minutes last night for the town meetings and the closing in November for the data center, and that was the latest information that was received by Tad Babbitt. So Taddy. Daddy Babbitt.
Good morning, I'm Tad Babbitt. I sound like a Kennedy. Tad Babbitt.
That was one of the things we saw in the minutes.
I don't know. I
didn't have much information in a lot of the minutes.
I'm going to tease on Todd because I texted him a few days ago, and he hasn't returned my text. So.
Oh, there you go.
Tad Babbitt.
But a motion was made about alarm ordinances.
What's that? A what?
A motion was made about alarm ordinances.
Alarm ordinances.
Mm-hmm. A lot of towns have them, actually.
What is an alarm? I don't know what an alarm ordinance is.
So basically, well, you know what an ordinance is, really?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
like a bylaw. It's an edict.
What's the law in the town, basically? And a lot of towns adopted these ordinances because of the false alarms that were taking place in towns for police and fire alarms.
Oh, I get it. Kind of like a law in the town. Kind of like, do you remember what it was? The Year Without a Santa Claus and the Burgermeister Burger.
Mm-hmm.
And be there, no toy make us to the king. Yeah. So that would be an ordinance.
Yes.
All right, I get it.
So basically, I'm not saying that's what this is, but because honestly, it doesn't. None of the minutes didn't say what any of the minutes were about. It was just. Hey, we had a motion, and that was it. So, but a lot of the alarm ordinances are, hey, if we go to your house more than once a year, you get charged.
One thing I have noticed though before is that whenever I read the minutes, they're not very descriptive.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's
Yeah.
very general, and it's like what happened?
Yeah. What was the ordinance about? What did you discuss that wasn't in there?
No.
So there was a lot of motions made about ordinances, but none of them described what the ordinance was about. But that was kind of the sad thing about it. But wish I could tell you more, but it just says they discussed the motion on the alarm ordinance.
Did you know that, and you probably do know, but that you can go to any town hall and request a recording
Yes.
of the meeting?
Yep. Under the Freedom of Information.
Yep. It's you can FOI just about anything. And I learned last year that there were some things that I put in an FOI request for. Oh, mercy. I didn't know I was getting into what I thought I was getting into.
Well, there is an old adage when you don't want someone to get information, when they have a right to have that information, you overflow them with information.
There was a particular, scandal or whatever you can call it down at town hall, which was involved a few people. And somebody said, you should FOI that information. Huh. I got information on human resources and different things like that. I'm like, oh.
Yep. Now you have to go through every single line on every single piece of paper.
Yeah. And then they send it to you.
Right.
Because it's public information.
And if they're really slick, you'll get a tractor trailer backing up. And that little piece of information is in that box in the back.
No, I had like 30 pages of reading material. I don't want to I don't want to talk about it too much because it was one of those things that it's like, well, I thought I wanted to get into this subject, but I figured out afterwards I didn't want to get it. It all had to do with the stuff around the building official.
Yes. Okay.
So, which he has since stepped down or been fired. We don't know. It's one of the two.
Last we saw in the minutes, actually, they were still discussing it. So that wasn't put out in the minutes, but
no. He's
it's officially gone.
Yeah. There was one meeting where they did discuss it, and they the meeting said he was going to be terminated on a certain date, like 2 days after the meeting or whatever. But then I happened to see him out on the streets, and he said, "Did you hear what happened?" "Yep." "Yeah, I gave my resignation." So
voluntold.
Yeah. So it's like whatever, it's like either you did or you didn't, or they did or they didn't. It doesn't matter at this point. But what mattered though was all this information. And then I called Todd and I said, "Todd, I didn't think I was getting into this stuff." And I literally deleted it because it was a lot of scandal stuff.
Yep.
And it was a lot of personal stuff with, some people that work down at town hall. And I didn't want to get into it. That's not who we are here, as an organization. But the Norwich Bulletin was all about it.
Oh, scandalous news! People,
they put it right on out there.
Well, that's the sad thing. A lot of that stuff you don't realize what you're going to do to other people when you're So that was probably good. You didn't get deep into it. So
no, I didn't want to get into it. So I just kind of let it go. We just kind of followed it. What's going to happen, but that was it.
Good.
That was it. So what else is going on?
They're talking about the non-attendance of meetings of the people that are actually on the committees and boards.
So you're talking about the actual people that are on the committees, and they just don't show up to the meetings.
Yeah, they're too busy, or some people don't feel like going, or whatever the reason is. It's between them and themselves. But they were discussing that they didn't have the people to show up. So one of the committees, they said that the chairman had to go and find out where these people were, why they weren't attending the meetings.
I think they have too many committees.
Well, it looks like it, yeah.
I think they have too many committees.
Well, I was even seeing some of them aren't even meeting. So you're not meeting because you don't have anything to discuss. That's what one of them actually said.
like one of the meetings, one of the commissions that keeps canceling is the Economic Development Committee. You know, it's like, why don't you just meet once a quarter?
You could, sure.
You know, or even just don't just dissolve it, because everything that they talk about comes up through a Board of Selectmen meeting anyway.
Right. A lot of these committees, yeah.
So I don't even know, why it even exists. What are they talking about?
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Bring home milk.
She's putting on a new business. Executive said discussion and update on building official status. That was August 24th.
Yeah.
So when did he resign or quit or fired or walked away?
Parted ways.
Yep.
It was about then. Yeah.
Okay.
It was after I came back from vacation. So.
Yeah, it says they went into executive session. Motion was carried unanimously to go into executive session.
Yep.
And then discussion and possible action on the building official. There was no discussion or action taken.
At that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done.
Yeah. So he's officially done. Yeah. You got it right out of his mouth. So
there's one Board of Selectmen meeting where it does say that he's 86th. So. So I think they have too many boards and commissions.
They do.
So I there are some that I think that are absolutely. I think they were probably relevant for a time, but then it was just for like a cup of coffee or something like that, and like the Pond Weed Committee. Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. And it was basically they wanted to do a study of all the weeds that were in Patchogue Pond. Now these are all the choggers, the people out on Patchogue Pond. They got the boats and and then the lemon spritzers, and like Grey Poupon and sorry guys, it's kind of true, but and you almost need membership. But I don't know. I know I'm teasing, but it was a study to do with all the weeds, and there was it wasn't eco-friendly.
The ones they want to smoke, or
no. They have to dry it out first a lot, but it was getting very invasive. Like right up on the shores and stuff like that. There were actually good reasons. I just can't remember what the hell they were.
You just call the DEP and ask. They call the DEP and ask.
Well, they got involved.
Yeah.
They got involved. So they were trying to raise money to do that, and then I don't know. It's just after that, it's like whatever. So I'm going to actually pull something up here, and let's take a look at some of the boards. In town, and this could be in your local town, wherever you might be. Take a look and see if. Well,
one thing I was wondering: are they required to have these committees by the state?
I don't think so.
Per town, or
I don't think so. So I'm gonna watch this. Here we go. I'm gonna bring this up so everybody can see it. Hit that button, and. You know what I notice is when we talk about local stuff like this, nobody gives a shit.
No, never.
They don't care.
Well, that's part of the problem too. So probably be a lot more activity if people cared and wanted.
Well, it's not about death, grief, sorrow, and murder. So.
Yeah.
So
what is it? Misery breeds.
Misery breeds company.
Yeah.
So all right. So here are the up and coming agendas. For the town. Okay. See, Board of Selectmen, nothing. Town meeting, nothing. Board of Finance, nothing. Capital improvement projects, September 16th, cancellation.
You figured that would be huge.
Yeah. EDC, economic development, September 15th, canceled. Inland Wetlands Conservation Commission and Aquifer Protection Agency.
It's a big patch.
All right. So that's going to be September 16th. What's today? That's today, is it not?
Still trying to get this to her. Yes,
that is today. Let's see what's on the agenda for the Inland Wetlands Conservation Commission and Aquifer Protection Agency.
Well, it rained. Maybe they'll talk about that.
Let's see. They're going to do the approval of minutes. That's always
standard.
It's exciting. Oh, an application. Dwayne Button. He desires to construct a driveway to access property off Glasgow Road. What the hell does that got to do with this?
Should they be planning a zoning or something?
You would think so.
Stamp. Good.
Unless it's a wetland.
I'll bring a stamp.
Yep.
You can build your driveway.
And then if you look at that's the only thing on this agenda. Oh, there's a Patchogue Pond Dam update. Old business, none. Reports from commission members, nothing. Conservation Commission members, nothing. Adjournment. And the Aquifer Protection Agency, this meeting is canceled due to lack of applications. Does anybody even know what the Aquifer Protection Agency is? Please, if somebody knows, so we don't mock it too much, what does it mean? Why is it there?
I don't know if we can spell it. That's a aquifer.
Aquifer.
Sounds like a cream.
It sounds like something you rub on a tattoo, you know?
I used to have some. Yeah.
Me too. Let's see. Board of Education, they do meet every couple of weeks.
That's a big one. That's usually a long meeting, too.
Not really. No.
Most towns it is because they have so much they want to talk about. You know, little Billy can't read correctly.
Well, the problem is this, Rich, is that people don't show up. They don't show up. They just don't. They don't show up to any of these meetings, and then you get on Grizzled Now, and then they bitch about it.
Mm-hmm.
They bitch about what they did not go see, and 9 times out of 10, they don't know what they're talking about or anything like that. So, the Rec Commission has a meeting on the 20th. So, just to kind of give you an idea, there's just like, let's see, there's some other boards here that have absolutely nothing. Okay. Alternative space needs. The Glasgow WPCA committee. What does WPCA stand for?
Water Pollution Control Authority.
Okay. In Glasgow. There's 8 people in Glasgow.
Probably why they don't have a meeting. I mean, that's
Public Health and Safety. You're on that board.
Yep.
The Rickstown Cemetery Committee.
Where's Rickstown Cemetery?
Rickstown Road, I guess.
Oh.
Out in Glasgow. They're all the 8 people that are there.
They have their own cemetery?
There. Yeah.
Well, is it full or is it?
The Ordinance Committee, Zoning Board of Appeals. And you can't blame COVID.
No, COVID.
You can't blame that.
No, that's a go-to now. It's been a go-to for a while. We can't make coffee this week. That's because of COVID. So.
Mm-hmm. No kidding.
Yeah. So now I'm over that COVID stuff.
I would say 25% of these committees literally can just go bye-bye.
Or just, like you said, have them quarterly.
Yeah.
Because there's no business anyway. So
Board of Assessment Appeals.
That's something you could probably do quarterly.
And if it needs to go to the zoning board of
if economic development doesn't have any zoning appeals shouldn't have that much stuff.
So there you go. So they talk about local government. Well, clean up local government, meaning get rid of all the muck. Like get rid of all the just the crap that really doesn't. I don't know.
Like they haven't had a senior meeting since July, I guess.
What's
the
that?
Senior town hall meeting since July.
Yeah.
Like you went over that. Capital Improvement Economic Development hasn't had a meeting also. They're all canceled. And there's 4 boards we found that are looking for people to join them.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of these boards can be combined.
Probably, yeah.
So.
Like the Alternative Ordinance Committee.
Let's see. Kathy Walden Waslick. That name sounds familiar.
Don't know her. No.
All town meetings should be available online in this day and age.
Yes, they should. There's no reason for it. And then people definitely would not be able to get on Grizzle Now and bitch about it.
Oh, no, they will.
Well, it was staticky or wasn't in color enough. Or...
Yeah, pretty much. Or I didn't watch it, but I heard this was happening.
I didn't have time to look at it because I was looking at a different Facebook page.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest pet peeves right there, in not just this town, but any town, is something happens at a meeting or they create an ordinance or something, or an event gets created. And then you always hear, I didn't hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about that. There are, how many places are there to get in? That's another thing that's really confusing. Is that there's probably about 15 different places that you can get information on what's going on in the town of Griswold.
Mm-hmm.
And then people go, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. But they knew that white cat was walking down Ashland Street.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was spooky.
Yeah.
or the guy with a cap carrying a clipboard, going, hey, don't come in my yard. What's your name? My name is NIMBY. It's Mr. NIMBY to you. You know what NIMBY means?
I heard about it. Flexible.
NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Oh, okay. You can do whatever you want in my backyard. Yeah. But it's kind of discouraging. It's very easy to get information. And my favorite one is you just go up and ask. That's
and I think people want people to go knocking door to door and going, hi, I'm so-and-so with your town update. This happened, this happened, this happened. Thanks. I'm going to go see your neighbor now. And you go to the next door. Hi, I'm here with your town update.
Well, no, then you see on freaking Facebook that the spooky guy is walking up to my door and knocking on it.
He's just giving town updates. That's all he's doing.
No, it's discouraging. Yeah. And then people, if you want change, you got to make change. It doesn't happen by itself. That's.
Yeah. I've known to go off on a few people, after. I know there are. Well, first of all, let's go back to the whole where information is available and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think one thing on the side of the resident, I will say that it can get very overwhelming. Mm-hmm. It's overwhelming because where do you go? Nobody has time to go through all of these, different, Facebook pages to get information instead of just making it, putting it in one central spot.
You can't count on any of it even being accurate. That's the
right. For the most part, you can't. So I don't know. It's very. All right. So I'm going to get burned for this. I know I'm going to get burned for this.
We brought Aquifer, don't we, man?
Oh, God. Thank God for the Aquifer Protection Agency. Cleanse me. But people will start a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. Just Joe Q Public or Jane Q Public. They'll start a Facebook because they have these delusions of grandeur that they are going to be able to do it better than everybody else and get the information out there better than everybody else because they just think that they can. There was a guy, I want to say close to 3 years ago, and he was a Voluntown representative or just almost in Voluntown, but it actually was a Griswold resident. And he started coming out with this local update every single day. And then he sent me a message and he said, I'm not trying to rain on your parade or steal, what you got going. And I'm like, I'm not worried about you. And I said, hey, put it out there. If you have information, put it out there. I'm not gonna tell you not to or anything. I'm gonna tell you to do it, because the more information, the better, right? Mm-hmm. So we kept doing it, and he said, well, all right. I said, but I would give you one piece of advice. And he said, what's that? I said, whatever you do, be consistent. Don't do it for 2 months and then say, because you're going to have people that are going to start to rely on you for that kind of stuff. But if you don't, and then some people will make shit up or they'll put up some really stupid thing like the firehouse needs bathroom work, or something like that. And it just everything gets non-relevant and it's trivial but that's what I had said.
Well, that's the interesting question. What's relevant
to
people?
It's information that means something to an individual.
So would that be
or
a lot of different things depending on who you are?
Sure, yeah. Well, that's what they say. What's relevant to you is not relevant to me or vice versa.
That's what we were talking yesterday about it. Relevancy, different opinions, people have different relevancies. So what's would you go out, what's the most,
and that's why
the highest relevancy to people?
Well, and that's why it's good to have different opinions. And that's why it's good to have different people put out different pieces of information. So I wasn't pooping on the people that that have boards or stuff like that. The only thing I'd say is stay consistent. Don't go away. Keep doing what you're doing. Because if you don't, then people literally get lost because they're looking for a certain place and all of a sudden, boom, it's not there anymore. What do I do? I just tell people, if you're going to do a group like this, whatever town you're in, Grizzled, Lisbon, Voluntown, did I mention Voluntown? In Voluntown, Plainfield, in Voluntown, stay consistent.
Yeah.
And then that's relevant if you stay consistent. Yeah. Consistency breeds relevancy.
Makes sense. I like that. You should coin that.
Huh?
You should make a frame.
Out of blue, Minarski comes out with something. So I needed a sound effect for that. Every time I had this thing that I could do sound effects with, and it's like I'll come across sound effects and I go, I got to use that today.
Actually, you said you're on the recreation committee?
I'm an alternate.
They're looking for another one.
Probably because they're going to boot my ass, into the world of irrelevancy.
Yeah, they're actually looking for another one. That was on the.
Oh, really?
Unless they haven't updated the webpage.
No,
that's
another thing right there. It's like, if you stay consistent with the information.
Yeah.
If you're not, people don't know what to believe. And it's not their fault. If they read something and if they've actually put their best foot forward looking to get some information from somewhere. And it's
who does the webpage?
I don't want to blame one person.
I mean, is it at a town hall? Is it just someone that said, "Hey, let's make a webpage"? Or
could be. Yeah.
Like
from what I understand, Lisa Wood, the executive assistant to Tad Babbitt.
Tad
Babbitt. Good thing his name isn't Charlie Babbitt.
Ooh.
Yeah, Charlie Babbitt. I'm a good driver. Yeah, I work for the highway department. I'm
imagine
good driver. Yeah, Charlie Babbitt. Sorry, Tom.
Well, I imagine
should have returned my text.
Imagine she got a lot of stuff to do too. I would imagine.
I know she's got all these minutes from all these meetings that are relevant to type up, right? Good point.
But
they're doing this all day. Come on, phone, ring. Oh, it's ringing. Do I answer it? No, because if I let it go to voicemail, they'll think I'm busy doing something relevant for the town. I'll just let it go to voicemail, and then I'll email him back.
You want to go to news outside of town?
Because I have social anxiety and I don't want to talk to people. That's another thing, social anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Is that really a thing?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it. So
okay.
It's usually, I think, because honestly, I think social anxiety right now is out a lot more than it used to be. Because everybody self-locked themselves up because they were scared of COVID. So
I think you're right.
And now you got to go out and start talking to people and going out and doing things. And now they're like, oh, crap, how do I do that anymore? We see a lot of kids do it because they can't text the person. So
what about attention deficit disorder?
Yes.
You think that's real?
I think it's real, but I think it's overused now.
Okay. See, when I was a kid, they just called me a little shit.
Well,
you know, because I was hyperactive or something like that. Well, calm down.
Well, now you got scales for everything, and everything's got a number or a letter, excuse for this, excuse for that. Like big example, that news thing we saw before we went into local news. You know,
I forgot it wasn't
relevant. It was discipline, or a teacher told a kid to behave, or you use discipline, so they were a white supremacist. It's like, oh, really? You have to behave. I'm sorry. Yeah.
If you don't behave, then you're a what? Oh,
you're a white supremacist.
If the teacher tells you to calm down,
yes,
then the teacher is a white supremacist.
Yep. National news.
Is it legit national news, or is it like
Washington Examiner? So is that?
Yeah.
Is that legit? I don't know. It says Washington.
I don't know.
It says Washington. It's
sure
it
does. Yeah. So New York Post is New York Post, but that doesn't mean they're right either. But
yeah, high school teacher. Let's see what it says. got a Virginia high school teacher posted a TikTok video that said telling students to behave.
Oh,
TikTok.
it was on TikTok.
It was on TikTok, so it's definitely real. Video that said telling students to behave themselves in class falls under the definition of white supremacy. Well, the teacher said so.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What can I find that's probably just as relevant as that?
Is that keyword again, bro?
Let's see here. Here's something. This is very relevant. New York City light pole outside Fox News headquarters swarmed by bees.
Oh no! Everybody okay? Are they the killer bees or are they the honeybees or
just as bees?
Probably because it was Fox News, though.
Yeah. Georgia man steals mortuary van. Dead body rolls out ahead of police chase.
Did they catch him?
Well, the dead guy they did, yeah. But the other guy got away. All right. Video shows lightning strike hits Washington Monument.
That probably happens every week.
This is news, folks. All right. This is, I mean, we mock it, but these are the things that are out there, for us to consume.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that they give us.
The scary thing is that white supremacist teacher, because it wanted someone to behave, is going to end up causing some huge national riot or something. It's
South Carolina man gave child a face tattoo at McDonald's. Police say.
Wow.
And again, this is supposedly relevant news.
Just glad there's nothing big going on. I mean,
Florida woman accused of skinny dipping in homeowner's pool. Maybe it was her own pool. She was the homeowner.
Maybe.
We don't know. But she looks. In local news, in Massachusetts, Massachusetts driver avoids squirrel, crashes into historic home built by Abraham Lincoln's ancestor.
Oh, no kidding. I bet they're upset.
That could have been Abraham Lincoln's daughter's cousin, brother's sister's aunt, twin, illegitimate brother's mom. But it was, but it's relevant news because it's somewhat of an ancestor. Man says he found 160 bowling balls under his Michigan home.
160.
Yeah. First of all, who cares?
Yeah.
And why is that relevant? See, this is what happens with news when this is when people complain and they say, well, big news media, they're doing this or they're diverting our attention or this isn't news.
No.
This is something that should show up as a byline on Entertainment Tonight.
That should be someone's local Facebook post. Hey, I found 160 balls underneath my porch or something. Yeah.
People said I had no balls. But they were all underneath my house. Bowling balls. Shirtless California man arrested after setting fire to cross atop church, jumping rooftops.
That's a pretty good jump.
Yep. Iowa man arrested on gun charges proposes to woman shortly after bonding out of jail.
No, that's a good one. That's a champ.
The first selectman in Plainfield has just noted they found 160 bowling balls and not one bowling pin.
Oh,
that's news. Thank you, Mr. Cunningham, from the island of relevancy. Oh, God. Morning, Kev. Let's see. This is news.
You would imagine there's enough people out there to make people want to put this stuff up there.
California correctional officer sentenced for depraved sex with inmate in view of other prisoners. Reports say. She's kind of cute, actually. Hold on. I'm trying to get... Oh, did I lose it altogether?
It's probably spam and deleted your phone.
FBI investigating latest alleged Los Angeles jetpack guy sighting.
Jetpack?
This is news, folks.
Is that real
This
jetpack
is
or the
news,
water
yeah,
ones
I
that
guess
come
so.
out of the...
Doesn't really say. Video of woman styling hair in packed Florida sports bar goes viral.
It's like a TikTok video?
Yeah. That's the thing. Let's see. So,
is that on your homepage on your phone?
see, look, here's the lady that had sex with depraved. She's pretty hot.
I don't think that's her corrections picture.
Well, no, that's more like her Tinder photo.
Yeah.
But 27-year-old Tina Gonzalez was busted after Fresno County Sheriff's Office workers received a tip about her relationship with prisoners who were caught with a cell phone behind bars in 2019.
Oh, I bet they didn't investigate that part, though. I mean, that's a new right they can have. They can have their cell phones in their cell.
Actually, there are some that you can.
Yeah.
They give you so you can, just like a flip phone.
Like
so
a
you can
pay
text.
phone or something? Yeah.
You're allowed to have that. So, but again, this is news.
Well, like I was saying, there's enough people out there that it makes it worth it for these people to actually do this for some reason. I don't.
Florida man bit off part of friend's ear during Key West hotel brawl. Authorities say.
Who are
the authorities? Yeah. So that's it.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. What constitutes someone being a journalist now?
Having a Facebook page?
Yeah. And then there were some court cases where they said, no, that doesn't. So I don't.
From the island of relevancy, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you can make yourself relevant. And if you build enough followers or something like that, the only thing we did here, is that I always had the mantra of just stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Don't.
No opinion.
Yeah, I really don't have an opinion on things that I talk about here too much, unless it's stuff like this, which doesn't mean anything. But when we report news, I mean, we try to stay right in the middle because, you don't know who's going to believe what or not.
Well, that and what's news anymore based on like the kids that go to school. We complained about, I think we talked about this one time where, kids are only allowed to watch CNN in a lot of schools.
Right.
So, but they have an opinion now. So the people that watch Fox News, they have an opinion. So where's the actual journalistic approach to it? Just giving you information without having a biased opinion on something. It's
they don't.
Yeah.
They really, really don't. But again, like Rich, if you were to start like some sort of news page or whatever, and I know your wife is very, very becoming more and more active. You both are becoming more and more active, in the town and the operations of the town and all. So if you guys do something, continue to stay consistent.
Yeah, I mean, like one of my big things I like to do is not try and have an opinion until I have as many facts as possible.
Right.
Because you can believe one thing and the next minute you talk to somebody else and, oh, damn, I didn't think about that.
You can always have an opinion.
That makes sense. Yeah. So.
And sometimes your opinion
doesn't matter.
Get you.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot. My opinion don't matter half the time. So.
Mine either. All right. So coming up at 9:00 in a few minutes, we have Psychic Thursday, which we do every Thursday now. We were doing it on Tuesday, but due to scheduling constraints, we moved it over to Thursday. So that's going to be happening in about 10 minutes or so. We'll have that going. We're going to take a break. You're going to hang out for Psychic Thursday?
I'll be here. Sure.
We'll have, matter of fact, we will have Lisa read your future.
She's going to read my foot?
We'll be back in a minute right here on SNSN.
Reliable plumbing and heating services are just a phone call away when you contact the professionals at McGuire Plumbing and Heating in Fallentown. Family owned for more than 35 years, McGuire Plumbing and Heating has earned a reputation by providing accurate quotes and being open and honest when on the job, plus giving honest advice that may be needed down the road but isn't an immediate concern today. Find McGuire Plumbing and Heating on Facebook or call 860-376-3388. Look for the big truck with the little Irish fella. McGuire Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of Griswold Youth Football.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it Dish. It will make it real. Don't just wish. Make it Dish.
Hey everyone, this is Ellis Dish from Dish Motors. We're back better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models. You name it, we got it, or I'll get it for you at no additional charge. Quality. Each vehicle goes through a rigorous 120-point safety and quality check. Nothing leaves the lot without my personal approval. Convenience. We have financing sources for almost any situation. We offer on-site registration processing, and we have maintenance programs for years of stress-free ownership. And now open for all your maintenance needs. Our full-service repair facility, where oil changes start at just $19.99. Call today for your appointment or just stop by. So save thousands and deal with the dishes. Route 32, North Franklin. Or check us out online at dishfranklin.com. Or ring us, 860-383-4750.
Don't just wish. Make it Dish.
Hey, I'm Jess, but you can call me the Tire Queen. For the best deals on tires, come and see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Call me at 860-376-8687. But definitely don't talk to my dad. He's definitely not the Tire King.
And right now, Jess the Tire Queen has great deals and excellent service waiting for you at Advanced Automotive, Route 138, Griswold.
Tire Queen.
All
Your
right.
news and information
All right.
source, SNSN.
And we'll decide what's relevant, damn it. All right, Psychic Thursday coming up in about 5 minutes or so, right here on SNSN. And yeah, so we've been talking a lot, kind of like a lot of nothing today.
A whole lot of nothing.
You know, so one, I was just thinking to myself, because we've been kind of crapping on the different boards,
Yeah.
you know, that are in town, and you know, should they exist or should they just kind of dissolve? You know, do they really even have any relevancy or anything like that? One of them is like, I think there should be some sort of. I'm all about blight.
Yeah.
If something looks awful, you know, and you know, could bring, you know, values down and the perception of your town way down. Here they come. They're going to be screaming, and they're not going to have any.
I heard him outside walking up the road.
Yeah. Watch. Yeah, we can hear you. We heard you walking up the street. God. The psychics are here. Look out. They'll put a hex on you. Oh, Jesus. So anyway, some sort of like a building committee. But I think you can take the building committee, ordinance committee, and you can kind of put them all together, you know, and form a blight committee. Isn't that kind of like the same thing or something?
Well, I think the blight would be by a town ordinance, sure. But I think the borough has someone responsible for blight, if I'm not mistaken. I think the borough has somebody responsible for blight.
The borough does.
I don't know about the town, but
no, and I will say that they do. No, the town does not.
Okay,
from what I understand. But there are things that do come up on the town's agenda, you know, that have to do with blight. I will say that the borough does a pretty good job when it comes to blight, you know, and different things. And there's usually something on the agenda when it comes to blight. I know for a fact there was a guy that's right behind me, and he's got a garage.
The long ones? Yeah.
His grass got about literally almost 4 feet tall. And I took a picture of it, sent it down, and they sent letters. Next thing you know, we cut the grass.
Nice.
So that's fine, you know. There are houses down in Mechanic and stuff like that. The biggest problem there, I think, is absentee landlords. So
yeah, a lot of those are all rented out houses and stuff. So it's
and the landlords aren't even around.
Like New Jersey or
New York or whatever. So, but I know the borough does take good care of that. The town once in a blue moon, but I think they can combine a lot of things.
They should combine a lot of this stuff. Yeah, economic development and what's the other one here? Capital improvement and economic development.
Yeah, why don't they?
I think those are combined, but you can probably combine it with a couple other ones.
No, those are different committees.
Are they? Because this capital improvement. They made it sound like one whole committee.
No, capital improvement and economic development are two different committees / commissions, whatever. I would think you could combine those two.
That's why I thought they were. Yeah.
So what do you do? So if you combine something like that, what has now happened?
Well, there's a couple of schools of thought probably on it. I think the pro would be that you have less meetings, less people that have to worry about scheduling their time.
There you go.
And then
what's the first thing you brought up when you were reading? You were talking about they had a meeting discussing why people aren't coming to the meeting.
Exactly. Right.
Well, there you go. You get rid of some of these useless committees that don't meet anyway and combine them with others.
Or like you said, fruitless committees, powerless committees. Like what's the point of having a committee to make a recommendation for people to make recommendations on something?
Exactly. So, and if people aren't showing up to the damn meeting anyway, what does it matter? Oh, goodness sakes alive. All right. We're going to break for some news updates, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes with Lisa from Crystal Visions, and it looks like she has a guest with her today. Who's your guest? What? Heather. Heather is here. She's going to be here also, and remember, psychic readings are done for entertainment purposes only, but we are going to do them nonetheless. And you're going to stay, right, Rich?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I wanted to read my foot, so.
Kinky bastard. Be back in a minute right here on SNSN.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streeting News and Sports Network, SNSN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison says his government decided to invest in U.S. nuclear-powered submarines and dump its contract with France to build diesel-electric submarines because of a changed strategic environment. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley is defending his phone calls to his Chinese counterpart during the final months of Donald Trump's presidency as an effort to avoid misunderstandings and conflict. Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher tells the Salem Radio Network the allegations against General Milley are shocking if true.
Well, if it's true, it's one of the more serious allegations that I've heard regarding the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the chain of command in modern history.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says President Biden stands by Milley.
He has been chairman of the Joint Chiefs for almost 8 months of his presidency. They've worked side by side through a range of international events. And the president has complete confidence in his leadership, his patriotism, and his fidelity to our Constitution.
A drug pricing plan that's key to the Biden social and environmental package has hit a snag in the House.
The slim margin House Democrats hold as they work to pass President Biden's signature 10-year, $3.5 trillion spending plan was on full display Wednesday as one committee voted to drop a plan to let Medicare negotiate what it pays for prescription drugs, only to have a separate committee approve nearly identical drug pricing language. The House Energy and Commerce Committee voted to drop the proposal, but the House Ways and Means Committee kept it alive. The votes came as Biden was meeting with moderate senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, who have both balked at the overall size of the $3.5 trillion proposal. Mike Gracia, Washington.
On Wall Street, Dow futures are off 32 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Right now, people are home with their pets more often, and I think especially with the shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue.
Olive got some skin issues. He gets really going and scratching.
Excessive shedding, a lot of just scratching and itching.
Digging, scratching, and itching, and biting. On top of that, he was starting to get black buildup in his ears.
DINOVITE.com.
I just heard the Dynavite commercial so many times that I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
We started Dynavite, and in our first stock, we noticed a difference, especially with the shedding.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
We've got 4 dogs, all different ages, all different sizes, and they've all just responded really well to the Dynavite, and they all love it.
We will be using Dynavite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
We order our Dynavite from Dynavite.com. DINOVITE.com.
3 former U.S. military and intelligence officials have admitted to helping a United Arab Emirates-based company hack into computers in the U.S. and around the world.
The defendants are accused of providing sophisticated computer hacking technology to the company that conducted hacking operations on behalf of the UAE government. The 3 men agreed to pay nearly $1.7 million to resolve criminal charges in an agreement that the Justice Department described as the first of its kind. The case is an example of what appears to be a growing trend in ex-US intelligence officials being hired abroad to bolster the spycraft of foreign governments, a practice officials have said risks exposing US secrets. I'm Karen Chamas.
French officials say France has killed the leader of Islamic State in the Greater Sahara because the group attacked French aid workers, African civilians, and U.S. troops. The French foreign minister named it Adnan Abu Walid Sarari, enemy number 1. News and analysis at townhall.com. The U.S. is joining a new Indo-Pacific security alliance with Britain and Australia.
In a joint announcement, President Biden said the new partnership, known as AUKUS, will allow for greater sharing of defense capabilities.
This is about investing in our greatest source of strength, our alliances, and updating them to better meet the threats of today and tomorrow.
The president was joined virtually by the prime ministers of Australia and Britain, and the new security alliance is being viewed as a deterrent against China in the region. Greg Clugston, the White House.
North Korea said it successfully launched ballistic missiles from a train for the first time and was continuing to bolster its defenses after the 2 Koreas test-fired missiles hours apart in dueling displays of military might. Wednesday's launches underscored a return of the tensions between the rivals amid a prolonged stalemate in U.S.-led talks aimed at stripping North Korea of its nuclear weapons program. More on these stories at townhall.com.
And good morning. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It is 9:05. That was just our news update. Wait, we have some tomfoolery going on here already here in the studio. God. Rich and I are being joined by Lisa.
Good morning.
And somebody that doesn't have a last name, Heather Marie.
Heather Rose.
Oh, Heather Rose. Heather, is that your last name or is it your middle name?
It's my middle name and my business name, Heather Rose. Heather Marie. I'm turning it down. Definitely not Heather Marie.
So let me ask you a question. All right. So Heather Rose, where's the Rose is your middle name?
Yes.
Okay. So you have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Is it Heather Rose?
No, that is my personal Facebook page. Yes. But my business Facebook page is Empowered Healing with Heather.
Oh, okay.
What kind of healing?
Empowered.
Were you not listening?
What I know, is it the smoking kind? Is it the rock kind? Is it the...
It's the,
no.
Let's get you in
push
touch
and
with
pull
you.
kind? Okay.
It's all kinds of stuff. It's readings, because the readings are healing. It's energy work, because energy work is healing.
She's going to be the one reading
it's medical
my
intuitive, because that's healing. So
Heather, we're going to have you move this way a little bit.
Which way would you like me?
Just
because I'm taller than Lisa.
We just want to make sure that you're in the camera shot.
I'm a midget, so hold on.
Lisa represents the Lollipop Kids.
Right.
The Lollipop Kids. The Lollipop Kids.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Lollipop Kids.
All right. So I am like not even prepared for this.
And you're talking about me not being prepared.
Well, somebody has to be prepared, and it's usually not me.
I'm just all excited, I get to wear my Halloween stuff without people looking at me like, hey. So like it's September. Right? No, September 1st I get to start. No. Yes. And September, when people are like, oh my gosh, it's September 1st. Let me get out everything. It's like, no, it's hot until at least October. Air conditioners stay on. But I get to wear this. Oh, yeah. Hot wise. Let me tell you, me and you were on the same page with that. It doesn't feel Halloween-y yet. It's in your blood. It's All right. got to be in your right. blood. You're the Halloween-y Yeah, person. it's I'm the in the fall. blood. Sorry.
And girl, let me tell you something. I take some of those black fluorescent lights, and I just look all Halloween.
I'm too afraid to decorate the shop. The building will fall in.
It'll fall apart. So Heather, why don't you get this is your first time on the show with us, and we appreciate you coming on down.
Thank you for
Can you
having me.
tell us a little bit about you?
I'm just a regular person.
Where are you from?
I am originally from Oakdale, but I live in Lisbon now.
Okay.
And I am into readings and healing and helping people and getting to root causes of issues and through my own, my own work that I've done with myself over the years, because I think we all have room to get better. And
sure, absolutely.
I don't do anything for anybody that I wouldn't practice or try with myself first. So
gotcha.
And I love to let people know that they have all the tools necessary. They just need to be shown, or they have the answers. Maybe it takes Lisa to say, hey, listen, your grandmother's with you. Maybe it takes me to say, hey, listen, you know what, your diet needs to be cleaned up, or maybe you've got, some stagnation here or there, or, whatever it may be. But fungus among us. Yeah, like that's Mike, the he's best a pretty way. fun guy, I heard. So
Who, me? I'm a fungus
so-
among us. They call me mushroom.
Yes. So, but otherwise, I have a daughter, a job, a side business, a home. And she's a Red Sox fan. I'm a Red Sox fan.
You can stay.
Yeah, thank you.
Why do the Red Sox suck right now?
Because they supposedly all have COVID, but whatever.
Another COVID.
Yeah. Again, and I said supposedly because I don't believe in diseases and things. But
really,
you
don't believe in diseases?
I believe in dis-ease, yes, but I don't believe in.
What do you mean dis-ease? What does that mean? I'm really curious. I've never heard that.
It's a big Reiki term. It is, or a healing term. It's you cause your own. How I talk about like energy. If you're feeling like blah, you can create things to happen to you.
Oh, well, we've talked about that.
Yeah, it's this.
I've said to Lisa a bunch of times, I think that people that are sick, they want to be sick. And a lot of people that, want to be sick, get sick.
I've heard a lot of like people with cancer. I've heard that.
If you get a lot of negativity in your life and stuff like that, it's gonna create physical ailments and stuff like that. So you make yourself sick. And I do believe there's your mind, body, and soul have to be in balance. And while you can have the thought process when things are not going well, you have a lot of negativity or negative thoughts. I also do believe in the actual chemistry, the anatomy and physiology of your body, that a cancer cell is just a damaged cell. It's not going to kill you. What you put into your body with chemo and things is what will kill you. The treatment of cancer will kill you. I watched my father die of the treatment of cancer, and it was not pleasant. But I also know a lot about regenerative detoxification. And if you have a common cold or if you have MS, guess what? You can heal either of those. You can with food. Our
obviously I'm trying a lot with food.
I haven't
hasn't
done
much
good
for me yet,
but I had an experience with my daughter for 4 years ago when doctors didn't agree with what I was doing, and they couldn't help us in 9 months, but in 4 months I got her healed. It has been good, and her kidneys are not going anywhere, and she's not going to be on the kidney transplant list, and she's not going to be on medication for the rest of her life and things like that. But she's a healthy 16 going on 17-year-old girl with a normal life and no problems. But yeah, I do believe there are root causes, whether it be thoughts, whether it be food, whether it be inherited emotional stuff.
Putting that energy out to the universe. There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, I've just learned. I just got certified in emotion codes. So We a lot pay of stuff for are trapped emotions, past karma too. Like family issues that we bring on. So
got it.
So is this the whole I've heard of people saying they have cancer and then they think those cells being back to being healthy? Is that the same idea?
I think there's a piece of that. I don't necessarily think that it can miraculously be done like that, but what do you consider miraculous? I think some
It's
people
all in your interpretation.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you let the cancer beat you, it's going to beat you
Mhm.
either way.
And that's the thing is doctors will give you
Yep.
a timeline and they don't know.
This is something I didn't tell you. So I have I'm not too sure if you know her or not, but I have a customer friend that has leukemia. Okay. She got COVID. The COVID killed off a lot of the leukemia cells.
It's a weird story. She's told me that story a
Yeah.
couple times now.
So
I would bet that her kid, she has a kidney weakness because she has COVID though. Because everybody that has almost anything, if you were to check your kidneys, most of them are renal. If you would look, most people will pass of renal failure more than anything.
Nope.
But she will have
like it attacked because her white blood cell count was like 160, which is like astronomical. When she got COVID, it went down to 40 instead of going up. It's crazy. Who's to say like
good?
Yeah.
Because it's just a term. Anything, any medical thing, they have to have a name for it so that they can bill the insurance companies.
Yeah.
It's all just inflammation, acidosis. It's all just, that's all.
And Lisa
Back
and
to
Heather
the
will be back right after this.
Get your questions lined up.
All right. So we have this large contingency from Ireland lately.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ireland's been the newest thing.
There've
What was
been
it
lots of
before?
folks, yeah.
Indonesia or whatever it was. Was it
Sri
what was it?
Lanka.
Sri Lanka. That's what it was. Yeah.
But anyway,
How does that happen? How do they find you?
Facebook.
Facebook and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because we share it like all over the place and stuff.
Cool.
So
All right, so Donna says she did this before we even got here. Hi, I'm from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Can I have a reading? But she hasn't put anything in yet. So.
That's okay. I
And
can give her a
then-
general reading.
Okay.
Or Lisa could. Or
no, usually if they want reading, they
I'm gonna go
flip
ahead.
some cards for me. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
Well, that's a general.
And the phone number, if you're local, is on the board already, 860-591-1054. We've had lesser phone calls in the last month or so. Before it was like crazy. You couldn't even get to it, but 860-591-1054 is the number. It is on the screen. But I'm going to start things off because I hate to do this to you, Dawn, but no one.
Not Dawn.
Who's Dawn?
Oh, Dawn. That's Dawn.
Huh?
Who's Dawn?
I don't know who the hell Dawn is.
Oh.
Heather. Heather Rose.
Are you
talking
Dawn?
to me?
You're Dawn today.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody in here is named Dawn. I
You
don't know.
hate to do this to me. That doesn't sound good. Okay, go ahead.
No, and we'll ask Lisa. I request this of anybody.
He wants a reading, pretty much.
Well, no, it's not that. It's man, you make it sound like I'm being evil. He wants a reason
like
for whatever.
because no one has been able to give him information that he's looking
for. Say your name.
And
for me.
I'll be honest
Say
with
your
you.
name and I'll do it. Go
Mike.
for it.
My name is Mike.
Okay, Mike. So I'm not going to flip cards first. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So first thing is you gotta, and you made a joke about it, but the first thing that comes up is I feel like, in your digestive tract, gut issues, things like that. I also feel a lot of worry that lives in your stomach. You worry about things. You got this great personality on the outside, but inside you're just like, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? What am I going to? Okay, not really anxiety wise, but
Shut the hell up.
Kind of borderline anxiety. Sometimes that can happen. Your mind. I would definitely say that you're probably one of those. Let me lay in bed and try to figure out all my world problems when my head hits the pillow type person. And what are you going to do at 2:00 in the morning about it, Mike? Nothing. So just go to sleep and wait till tomorrow. Okay. Does that make sense? Any of that? Does any
Shut
of that
your
make
mouth.
sense?
Shut your dirty mouth.
You're saying yes, but it sounds like you're saying yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I would say, I don't know if you spend most of the day always standing when you're doing the shows, but sometimes I feel like you get a little tingling in the legs sometimes where you just like need to, move around, which we could all just like move around a little bit. We all need some movement, but sometimes I feel like it's
the stagnation of standing to do the show, but also sometimes you need to make some steps forward in your life, move around a little bit more, change your direction a little bit, get out of your comfort zone sometimes. I also feel like you're doing a lot of talking when you're doing your radio show, which makes sense, but sometimes it frustrates you that people don't listen to what you have to say in your life. Maybe not on the radio, but the people closest to you. And then it's like, why am I talking to a wall? I might as well just be in my studio and talking to whoever may be out there or may not. Does that make sense? Does any of that make sense to you? Oh, I can tell you it does. All right. It's not
At least is my agent, apparently.
So who are these people that can't read for you? Because you're pretty stinking easy. No, he means
I've been easy my entire life. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Sunday morning, right? He's looking for something personal, like
Well, I'll be honest with you.
A message from his mom.
I'm not.
Well,
yeah,
the mediumship is not my strongest,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you that. I mean, if somebody comes through, I definitely can connect, but that's not usually my first go-to. That's not my strongest suit, but
no, that's the thing. I've always been, and this is not like a Houdini thing, you know. This is, well, I'll know for a fact if I get this message from my mother. And my mother, before she died, and we had our conversations.
she had
and,
stomach issues too. She worried too much. She worried like
Always,
craziness, like worried, and it just lived in her stomach. So maybe
Yeah.
she ate and it's like, oh gosh, that bothered me. No, it's because you had all these worries going on in your stomach and everything. I feel she also maybe was someone who she felt that she had to, the time that she grew up, the parents that she grew up with, I felt she had to have her place. Her place was, this is how I'm supposed to be. This is how she, like I'm telling you, step out of your comfort zone, move forward in life in different ways where you're not sure. She was not in her belief system. That's not what I'm supposed to do. I can't do it.
She wasn't allowed to.
She felt like she was in jail. I see like jail bars. Like
Yep.
that's what I see for her. So
Yeah.
as far as her like literally just telling you a message, I don't necessarily get that, but I'm just picking up on her. Was her name Mary?
No.
No. Okay. That's okay. I'm not always good with names, but so just let that be. But okay. I don't know what is he thinking about. I don't know you well enough to know your little tells
No.
there.
All right.
So who's Mary?
That's my grandmother.
Okay. Well then she's with Mary.
They hated each other.
It doesn't matter. You don't bring that over with you. Exactly. It doesn't matter.
So-
I tell you that all the time. Did they have the same personality? Like if your mother was not, a warm and fuzzy person here, she's not gonna be warm and fuzzy there. If your grandmother wasn't an accountant here, don't ask her for financial advice there. She's not gonna know. She doesn't make you the all-knowing all of a sudden. They're the same
Yeah.
personality, but they let go personality of traits over there. let go Yeah. of that human like holding on to grudges and not liking you because it's like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore.
Nope. They still are who they are, personality
Yeah.
traits wise, but those, because hate and everything else is that is a human emotion.
Right.
That, that's not something who we spiritually are, so to speak.
Do you want me to go into what your cards are saying?
No.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
She's like, I got
Fine.
good
That's
stuff.
good stuff, man.
I see wanting cups,
So I
that
feel
tells
like-
me.
So I just feel like, well, no, but the way that I have them set up, they're different things for different. But
She's got 4 of a kind. Look at that.
you got 4 of a kind, yeah, full house. There you go. So no, I feel like right now you're doing pretty well for yourself. You're feeling pretty good. I do feel like sometimes you want to speak up for yourself a little bit more, stand up for yourself with those people who don't listen to you. I also feel like 3 to 6 months, hold that lightly. Don't hold time frames too tightly because of COVID and stuff like that. But either new job or new money wise, whether it comes to job and things like that. But I feel like a lot of
I'm
financial.
gonna die here.
You're gonna
No,
hit that big
you're not.
sponsor.
You're not.
Oh, maybe.
I do feel
You
like
know?
you worry about your home life a little bit more too. You want it to be a little more pleasant than it is. And I feel like, do you have children?
I do.
Do you have 2 children? A boy and a girl?
Well,
Okay,
no,
well that's pretty.
I don't. I have 2 girls and a boy.
Okay, so is one of the daughters is closer to the boy? Or
Oh,
the-
yeah.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
those 2, I feel like they are like super. Maybe your encouragers or your supporters, or they're like on your side, even if they don't seem like it. I feel like sometimes you were their hero when they were younger, and you feel like that was gone, but I do feel like they do still have your back in some way. If you haven't had communication with them lately.
No, I do.
Then,
no.
okay,
all
because
the
I was going to
time.
say, because make sure, because I feel like the communication, there's a good bond there. There's a good bond there, but there's definitely a good bond between the two of them, but also like those are kind of your people. Like those are the ones that you could count on.
Right.
If, you know, and I understand you're the father, they're the children. You wouldn't count on them for certain things, but they will be the ones who
They
are on your
haven't paid
side.
their annual dues. So
The annual dues.
Yeah.
Well, the year's not up yet. Give them some time.
It's just $75. I mean, it's not like it's a lot.
That's it. $75, man. But the stagnation thing is a big thing coming up too. Is try not to stagnate. Try not to hold yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in jail like you were saying, like your mom. There's no jail bars around you except for your own self-limiting beliefs.
That's a good thing.
So yeah, not literal, but you got good stuff coming financially and stuff. Even if it's not really seen at this time or not really desired, it's coming. So okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more.
Okay.
After. Did you see my face during the whole thing? Yeah.
So all right, so you know his face, I don't. So what
No, you hit on some
Yeah, it
you
looked
hit
like it
on
was
some
pretty
stuff.
real,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got to validate me for crying out loud, so people don't think I'm a fraud. Lisa's not whispering in my ear over here.
I think by the way I'm acting right now, you can tell that I am.
Okay.
So.
All right.
You're gonna
You
get
asked
that
for
big
you
sponsor,
asked
Mike. I'm
you
telling
asked
you.
for the reading, so
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
Whatever.
Never mind. Take responsibility for your own.
She just fits right in, doesn't she?
very,
She is aggressive to the point.
Oh.
But I'm very kind at the same time, and I'll give you a hug later.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just kidding.
God, it sounds like I'm the
I'm whispering
Antichrist.
in her ear. Hello.
Oh, God. At least you didn't say, don't buy Dogecoin. I got Doge on the screen.
I told you not to buy that shit when it first came out. Excuse my French.
You know, but you know, oh look, it's Kevin Trahan, the best looking man in insurance. There he is. Oh yeah, hi Kevin. Oh, you don't see the
I don't
when they
know.
pop
Yeah,
up.
I don't know who that is.
All right,
That's
so
Kevin Trahan's Allstate Insurance.
Allstate Insurance and
Tell Kevin you need a bigger sponsor. He can swing it your way.
he does sponsor us sometimes.
Yeah.
He does. He does support us.
I know.
So
That's what I'm telling you.
and I tell him I do that too. I tell him I flash his picture every so often on the screen, and I go, "Yep, it's the best looking man in insurance, Kevin Trahan, 860-564-3383."
That's funny.
All right, so we do have time for phone calls if anybody's local. Let's see, Kelly. May I request a general reading, please, and whatever spirit or source has to say.
Looking at me?
Yep.
Oh, I'm the
Generally,
person today?
if
All
they
right.
want to talk to us, direct spirit, I'm like on that.
Her name was Kelly.
Kelly, and her last name is spelled GALBRAITH.
Kelly's got a lot of grief. She's been holding on to some grief. I feel like she's
Heartburn
still
and
hurting. Not heartburn, I wasn't getting, just more can't deal, can't breathe. Sometimes when she thinks about, some losses that she's had, because I feel there's more than one. I also feel that while she gets up and goes when she needs to, she really just wants to just be like, I'm done. I just don't even want to. I just want to stay in the house. I want to stay in bed. Let's go back into lockdown type stuff. But I feel like I do feel, now that you say, not heartburn necessarily, but maybe the acid reflux.
Yep, that's what I was
Acid
getting.
reflux
Like
is
a lot
what
of
I feel a
heartburn.
little bit. So again, what are you swallowing down that needs to come out? whether it be words, whether it be thoughts, whether it be ideas, whether it be beliefs. Let it out. If you need to go sit in your car and scream, go for it. If you need to take a wiffle ball bat and bang on your bed, go for it. Get it out. If you need to cry in the shower for an hour, do it. You got to get it out, Kelly, because you're going to hold it in, and you don't want that. The chest area, the lungs, the heart, the breasts, all that stuff, you don't want to hold that stuff in there because you don't want it affecting you. Your body's going to talk to you. So when you're feeling acid reflux, when you're feeling, oh, my chest is kind of tight, when I'm feeling those things, it's like little knocks from your body that are going to get louder and louder and louder. And you want to make sure that you're paying attention, get that stuff out. There's nothing wrong with allowing yourself to feel sad, to feel grief, to feel anger. And you want to get over this. It feels like you want to get over it. And the anger thing is okay. It's just out of fear. Sometimes it's just out of sadness. I feel like sometimes you're just like afraid that things are not going to go back to the way they were. You're not going to have the tried and true, the traditional, the same structure that you had, but that's okay. I do feel like if you live with someone or if you're thinking about moving in with someone, it's a good thing. I feel it would be a positive thing. So whether it be family member, a partner, something like that would be really, really good. Sometimes you're a little too focused on work. Sometimes it's like, okay, let me just focus, or it might not be work, but just hyper focused on how do I get happy? How do I get happy? How do I get happy? You're trying too hard. You want to go ahead and you just want to allow it a little bit more. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel, process those emotions. Don't feel guilty about it. And then I feel like you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to go through that, the crap part of it, unfortunately, and it's going to get better though once you just let yourself hit that bottom. Even if you're just down on your knees on the floor saying I can't do it anymore, just okay, this is not making me stronger, this is not good, just get it all out, and then the sun will shine again little by little by little. But you got to allow yourself to get through the process. The process is not going to be necessarily pleasant, but it will be very cathartic, it will be very healing for you, and it will be very necessary for you, because if you just it's like the Band-Aid. You don't want to sit and grab the Band-Aid and do one little tiny little hair at a time. Just rip it off, allow it. It hurts, it sucks, and then it's over, and then you can heal. So that's what I have for Kelly.
All right.
Okay. I get I keep hearing someone tell me that she's dragging her feet on something, like almost like so to be curious, and I think this gentleman's name is Ed. So I don't know,
What's up, Ed?
What was up?
No, like an Ed dragging her feet, dragging her, almost like possibly having. That might be the moving in person, maybe. I don't know. The moving dragging in with someone feels like it could be or going to the next step. So it feels like maybe it could be a relationship, and it's like, okay, are you going to live together? Are you going to get engaged? Are you going to get married? Are you going to break up? Are you going to do whatever? The limbo is not working. Maybe.
Kelly, do you have any feedback on that? On what Heather just spoke to you about?
She likes things to be just so. She likes things to be. It feels like she's maybe a perfectionist. Maybe likes things very routine or very structured. And when the wrench gets thrown in that, it's just she doesn't know how to handle it.
She says, "I'm not dating anyone."
Okay. Family member could be a family member, or having someone move in with you, or you moving in with someone, but something where there's like a moving situation.
I'm living
would be
with
positive.
family, she says.
Okay, it's good. It's positive right now. It's what you need right now. Not saying that's a forever situation, but it's a good thing.
It's stressful, she says.
Does she have a child?
Do you have a child, Kelly?
Do you have a child, Kelly? Or are there children in the house? Because I feel like there's something more that's positive for the child in the house, if there's a child or someone that acts like a child. Not you. Not you. You're not.
My wife would agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Donna Marie. Donna Marie is new to the program. She says, "Can I have a message from Spirit, please, and thanks." She's also she's from Ireland.
All right. What was her name?
Kelly says no child. Donna Marie.
Donna Marie. And she's from Ireland.
Northern Belfast.
Okay, and she's looking for something from a spirit. I have this gentleman that's coming in, and for some reason I feel like I want to stroke her hair, so I don't know who this person is. As you see, I'm sitting here and I'm playing with my hair. I gotta stop. And I'm looking out a window, and in the window, it's two windows side by side, but it looks like a metal divider. It's almost like you would see in schools or something like that. So it's kind of similar to what we have here in the studio, but it's a little bit smaller. It's silver. It's a metal divider. So I'm getting either like this person is or it could be you, like in a workplace where you have a lot of windows and you're looking out. And I feel like that this gentleman that wants to like basically just play with your hair and brush your hair. I get that whoever this gentleman is, he's wanted me to tell you that he is still with you. And I get like shortness of breath, like I with him, like so I don't know if like you were with this person when he passed, or you were always with him like to his last dying breath, if that makes any sense. So
okay.
But he's seeing out the window, whatever she's seeing.
Do you have anything, or
nope. No, I was leaving it up to her.
Got it. All right, Donna Marie, if you have any feedback, that would be great. Also, 860-591-1054. Give us a buzz, and we will certainly do what we can. And Lisa, tell people again why it's better if somebody were to call.
I just think it's easier for them to make the connection because you can hear their voice. You can pinpoint it. Like right now, I could probably tell you there's like 20 people that are like trying to talk to me right now. So I'm like opening myself up to like a lot more energy than what I need to.
That would drive me crazy.
See candy going.
Yeah.
Just opposite.
It doesn't matter for me about calls or anything because I don't open up like that. So.
Okay. Karen, now I will say before I even mention this or read this comment, is that we do have to stress that this is psychic readings are done for entertainment purposes only. We are not doctors. These ladies are not physicians or anything like that. But we do need to make that disclaimer that whatever information you get is for entertainment purposes only. And with that, I will read this comment. Karen says, "Good morning, ladies." Apparently, you and I don't matter.
No,
Rich, you know?
I'm used to it.
Maybe she's just saying hello to you as well.
Stop. And I recently stopped my treatment and feel great since this started 4 years ago, whatever it was. We don't know. Was that a wise decision? I insist on quality of life, and this last treatment was horrible. Okay. Karen, where are you from?
Well,
she wants to know basically, was it a smart decision to stop?
I don't care if it's a doctor. I don't care if it's me or Lisa or you or the Pope or whatever. Always listen to your own intuition. Always listen to your own gut. Do not put anybody else's professional, personal, or otherwise opinion above your own. You answered your own question. You said, I feel great. The last whatever treatment you got was horrible. You need to do what you need to do. If you feel that you want to look up alternative types of healing, I say go for it. I cannot say, yes, it's the right thing to do. No, it's not the right thing to do. I will always tell everybody, go with what you feel is right for you, because nobody can make that decision for you. And nobody will have that privy information for you. So whether, like I said, whether it be a doctor, whether it be, a reader, whether it be a spiritual person, a religious person, whether it be your mom, it doesn't matter. Go with what you feel is right. So as far as me telling you if it was the right decision or not, if you feel it was, then it was the right decision for you. And that could change. That might be different in a day. It might be different in a month, and you'll choose to go a different route. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that's just my
now I understand what you're saying there, and I'm following, everything that you're saying, but somebody could come out, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Somebody can come out and say, oh, well, that was really, really general. You know,
that
and it
wasn't
was-
a reading. That
yeah.
was that wasn't a reading. That's
just
me
friendly
telling
advice
you.
from another person, right?
Yeah, that's not a reading. That's me
And
saying
see-
do what you because you're gonna know you best.
I know personally what she's talking about and what she's going through because I have read for her before in person. And at this point, I would tell her she has to live her life to the fullest extent that makes her happy. You know, because she's not a type of person that
You're talking about Karen from Westerly.
yes, that can be held down. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's not how she wants to live her remaining days.
Okay.
So she wants to be able, you know, if she doesn't have much time here on this earth plane, then she wants to be able to enjoy it instead of being in bed sick and doing whatever. So
Got it. So now I would like to turn the tables, and I would like to see if maybe you could tell Rich something.
I was
now,
waiting.
first, Rich, is this something that the School of Thought, you know, was psychics and mediums and intuitionists? Is this something that you believe in or not, or you're not
I'll leave
sure?
my mind open, but I've never been to one that I honestly felt was legitimate. Or
Well, first of all, everybody's psychic, so you're psychic too. Not everybody's a medium, but everybody's psychic.
Okay.
So you're psychic too. Because have you ever walked into a room and everybody's like, "Hey, Rich, how you doing?" You're like, "My God, it feels so tense in here."
Yeah,
even
sure.
though everybody's smiling because you're picking up psychic.
all their energy. Yeah,
you're just picking up psychic.
Yeah, sure. Every day I went to work. Yeah.
So see, you're like, I psychically know that this place sucks. But everybody is psychic. Psychic is more an energy thing.
They all have an aura. They mean, or
Yeah, I mean, it's just energy. Like if you've driven over a bridge 30,000 times in your life, and then one day you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so afraid of it. I don't know why." Because there's lots of people that drive over that bridge that are like, "Oh, I'm so afraid of driving over this bridge," and their energy is that you just kind of drive through and pick up on it.
See, I can't drive over the George Washington Bridge at all. I go all the way up over to Tappan Zee because I get that same. I literally had a panic attack and stopped dead in the middle of the bridge.
You're the people that make it scary
Yeah,
for the
no,
rest of us.
I could not. I got so much overwhelming
Fear?
No, sadness. Like just complete sadness and complete chaos is what I felt. I just stopped in the middle of the bridge and I was like,
And caused a pile up. Great, that's nice.
No, it was good. It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
But yeah, I'll go up over the Tappan Zee Bridge if I, no, George Washington Bridge. Mm-mm.
So do you have any other information for Rich or something like
Rich.
that? Or he did not ask for this, just so you know.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
well,
sure.
First of all, is it okay? Because
Yeah.
I
We need
don't read for
permission.
anybody without saying that
It's like a
it's
doctor's
okay.
appointment. I give consent.
You do, all right.
So you're inviting the vampire in your house.
I don't just go up to people in general and be like, "Hey, guess what?" Because
Just so you know, I'm from Oakdale too originally. So
Oh,
you
yeah?
might wanna-
I was over on Black
No
Ash.
Oakdale
Where were you
stuff. Manor.
oh, see, I had to stay away from you because you were a Manor boy.
I didn't grow up in the Manor. I grew up in Mohegan, but I moved to the Manor.
Okay, yeah, I grew up on Black Ash. Right
I used to
around,
drive on
so-
Black Ash.
And I grew when I was littler. I was in Kittymog, so over your side.
You can't say Black Ash.
Well, it used to be Black Ash Swamp. Back
Yeah,
in
until
the-
it started to sink, then they took the swamp out.
No,
because
That's
I wanted to
right.
buy a house.
I understand what you're saying, Mike. It wasn't your best. Okay, I get it. You know,
Why's it
I'm
gotta be about
I'm
color?
gonna cancel you.
You didn't like the blue ash? Or something?
Cancel culture right there.
All right, so Rich. All right, I
Yes.
feel for you. First thing that I feel is, you're pretty set in your ways. You like things to be your way. You're pretty like, okay, you know what? My feet are planted. Go ahead, try and drag me because my heels are going to dig in. If somebody wants to, you said nicely, oh, I'll keep my mind open. But if you really didn't want it, you'd be like, you can say what you want, but I'm not going to believe you in your own head. And that's the same way as how you are with, you're like, okay, yep, blah, blah, blah. It goes like, you ever see those TikToks where people are like, my wife talking to me, but my brain going, doo. That's you. Like when you're just like,
Did you call my wife
say
before?
what you
this?
want. I might have, I might not have. So
Is your wife on TikTok?
no. But it's like, you're just like, you can say what you want, but you're not going to change my mind. You're very intellectual. You're very, you're very smart. You're a thinker. Feels like you're a thinker. You tend to take information, but analyze it first before you'll absorb it. Feels like you're somebody who's like, yeah, I'm not just going to take what somebody says and be like, oh yeah, that totally is mine now. Like you'd be like, let me fact check and let me feel how it feels. Just like what I said with Karen was that you're like, I don't care what anybody else says. I'm going to go with what I know and what I believe. It is very hard to get you to change your mind. And sometimes that's really good for you, but sometimes it's detrimental to you because you don't see, you have the blinders sometimes and you won't see outside. I feel like you are somebody who is you can get very laser focused, similar to what I had said to the other lady, that you're focused on, okay, how can I use what I know how to do, whether it be work wise or skill wise or whatever, but you want to make yourself happy. You're like, okay, let me focus on this because this is going to make me money. This is going to make me happy. And this is going to make me better. I feel like you're always trying to better yourself in some ways, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. You're like, I like to get better, but don't tell me how to do it. I'll figure it out. It's like somebody say, oh, you should eat this, or you know what, you should take this supplement, or you should do this exercise. You'd be like, and that's where you're like, don't tell me what to do. I'll figure it out and I'll do it. You might take in those things, but you're like, let me figure it out myself. Let me research. Let me find things out. I feel like whether it's been literal financial investing or just putting in hard work, I feel like it's a really good thing that you've been planting the seeds for your future. I think they're going to pay off in the future. Don't be impatient about it. I feel like you're doing a really good job with whether you're doing something, like I said, financially, if you're doing investing, or even if it's just like 401k stuff, or you're doing some kind of, real estate or whatever. Good job with that. Or if you're just like, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do this, so then it'll take me further. Great. You're putting in all the groundwork and it's going to build up and it's going to have a really good payoff for you. You're going to see the fruits of your labors eventually. It's a really, really good thing. You're not one to let things go. You really are maybe at times a grudge holder, or just kind of bring things back. Not as much as maybe women do, where we're in a fight and we'll bring, oh, you remember 5 years ago when you did this? Maybe not, but you'll think it. And you kind of, when you're like, okay, God, no, the storm is over, but then even though you're in better, clearer days, you'll still think about, oh man, I remember when that storm happened. And it's like, okay, you want to work on letting stuff go because it's not doing you any good. It's done, it's over. You're not going to change it. You're not going to do anything about it. And I do feel like maybe there might be, are you looking into getting a new car, new truck, anything like that? Because I feel like that's going to be,
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Why you're looking at me like?
Well, October is when they start bringing in the new vehicles for the next year or whatever. And I know
they get the chip.
Well, I was just gonna say, and I know that that's not something that's going on these days because of that chip thing. But I do feel it feels more like after the new year, maybe into the spring. I feel like you might, be looking into a new vehicle. So
we were talking about getting a new truck.
There you go. So the talk will become reality.
And then we talked about the chips happening. So
yeah. So that's why I would say like the time frame these days is really hard because of COVID related stuff. But I do feel that will become a reality. So okay. So did any of that stuff resonate with you? Make sense?
About all of it?
Don't look at me, man. I mean, maybe we should have your wife call in and say if
Kathy call in. She's watching. So.
I mean, to you, did it make sense to you? I mean, or were there
totally?
Okay.
So it resonated.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you for having an open mind.
Yeah.
It's really strange, especially when you start getting hit with information from somebody that doesn't even know you, and it strikes a chord. Like we've never met.
No, we have.
We have? Where?
Yes.
At my shop.
At the shop.
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, so briefly that you don't even remember me. Thank you very much. I made
that was a really good impression you made on him.
I'm just kidding.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Rude. I certainly didn't make it.
My wife says spot on.
Tell her she can
with
call
capital
me.
letters.
Tell her
to call. Tell her to call.
Tell her. Well, she can
I don't even know
tell
she knows
call
how.
anytime
To be
or
honest
let
with
me
you.
know.
She doesn't know how to use the
Your
phone.
No, she won't use it. She will not use a phone. And she'll we first started talking a long time ago.
Kathy is her name?
Yeah.
Okay, Kathy. And I'll give Rich the info. So at any time later when you want to call or text or email or whatever, you can contact me if
she would not call. If you called her, she wouldn't answer, and then she'd text you.
It's funny because I don't answer it.
That's a lot these days.
Yeah, it would drive me nuts. I would tell her, answer your damn phone.
That would drive me
I think it depends on
Melissa
the
does
age,
that
too.
kind of stuff. It's like, she'll want to have like full conversations in text. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know what your inflection is. I don't know how you're talking.
Forget how to talk on the phone, and like people forget how to have social interaction with other people.
See, when people call, I will answer because I'm like, if they're calling, it means something. They must, because if they're not texting me.
Have you seen those
Or
commercials?
they're looking for your car or extended warranty.
Well, no, I mean, I won't answer
Oh.
ones that are like, oh, I don't know who that is. But I think it's because I was a single mom.
She says she's not calling.
Yeah,
Well, that's okay.
well, you already gave us that information.
Yeah. No.
But
See, you can do this too. You're psychic, right?
Yeah, see
Do you ever
that?
see those commercials, where you have this guy, it's actually for like Progressive Insurance or whatever, and it's like, I'm becoming my
Oh
parents.
yeah,
kind
those
of
are my
thing.
favorite.
You know,
I
it's like,
love the ones.
No, the waiter does not need to know
Your name.
Your name.
Yeah.
Those. That is so close to real
Yeah, it is.
that we laugh at it,
Yeah.
but it is so freaking real.
Yeah.
And I really think there needs to be a class on that and on how to talk to people and how to relate to people.
They don't,
Because people don't have a clue anymore with texting and social media because they don't have to. They can sit in their bubble.
Yep.
And that's it.
It's
Don't
actually the
threaten my
number
bubble.
one thing they complain about when you go to interviews and new jobs, and especially in public safety, is the communication just is not there anymore. So we actually teach a communications class.
That's pretty
Oh.
sad.
A lot of
That's
people
pretty
would
sad that you
benefit
have
from
to
that.
you have to do
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
What's going to happen when technology's not here anymore? Because like I'm telling you, it is going to happen where we're going to lose it all. Then what's going to happen? Kids these days aren't going to know like what to do without their cell phones and stuff like that. They're going to be lost.
Mhm.
The younger, the younger crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it will happen.
Giddy up.
You think so, huh?
I've been telling you that for how long now? Years.
So
Yep.
the zombie apocalypse is upon us?
It's I don't think the dead are going to walk the earth like in the zombies type state,
Mhm.
because I believe the dead walk among us anyway.
How do you think it's going to happen then?
I told you, I think it's just a matter of taking out a satellite in outer space. To take down one satellite, everything else follows it. Even GPS runs off of satellites. So what happens if all the satellites like crash or like something happens to one of them?
You go into that cabinet with the takeout menus and find those old maps.
Exactly. That's what you're going to have to do, because
Not only
everything
just
is-
maps. Oh, look, Mei Ling has this on
That's
special
right.
today. Look at
Everything
this.
runs off of satellites. So it could even be like a asteroid shower or something that takes out a few of the satellites that causes everything to go down.
Electromagnetic bomb.
Well,
Exactly, yeah,
Oh
that
boy,
could do
those
it
are
too.
that's
Yeah.
the latest rage right now. Those things.
And well, if you look too, all these like billionaires are creating rockets going into space. What if they not doing what they're supposed to do and collide into something out there?
Their
Cars
money
are
isn't
cheaper.
worth anything up there.
Cars are cheaper.
Exactly. But like, you know what I'm saying? So
Like Jim, for example, our
Like-
friend Jim Barney that comes in here, he says all the time the possibility of like solar flares taking out the power grid.
yep, solar flare can do that too. Yeah.
So
They had
Like-
that recently.
So all that electronic
Yeah.
money or whatever that coins, Bitcoin and
Bitcoin,
all that other
yeah.
stuff, that's going to be worthless. I mean, it's not even going to be worth anything because it's all electronics. It's all electronic, everything.
So what are we going to use? Seashells again?
No, I think it's going to, to me, I would like to see it going back to a barter type system where, I'm coming with, I got a dozen eggs for you. Can you give me some milk? Stuff like that. Or give me, some vegetables.
Sure.
I don't. I think people
I don't know
would
if our
appreciate
society
it.
is too sophisticated
But
and
so,
too
like,
in
the
depth
whole,
to do something like that.
so the whole like zombie apocalypse is going to be this group against this group because this group's going to want to take what this group has to survive.
Mm-hmm.
That's already happening.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, that's why I'm going up, to Maine, area,
Yeah.
where it's cold.
Well, my aunt moved to Vermont, and now she lives on goat milk and
Yeah.
rooster eggs or some crap. I don't know.
Rooster eggs?
I don't know.
Roosters don't lay eggs.
I don't know.
I mean, if she's doing some rooster eggs, if she's doing
She could be doing some roosters. Who knows? How about?
But
That's
yeah,
like-
I mean, she's
That's
got
like
it
me,
smart.
my uterus is about to fall out. Okay, so
But you know
Yeah,
what? She's a
not
lot
happening.
happier, and she's certifiable. So I mean,
How many kids these days?
Well, apparently, if she's eating rooster eggs, then apparently.
How many kids go fishing and go out in the wilderness these days and just?
I had to teach my
Camping.
son how to play in the woods.
Yeah.
We had
How to play in the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just kind of like
Glad you did.
Yeah. We took everything away. So we threw him in the mud. Have fun.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have
it's-
to because
there's a lot to
yeah.
say about that. As for like just going out into nature and then saying, okay, make it work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See what you can find. And next thing you know, then like survivalist technique, humanistic survivalist technique takes over, and it's like the stick. I could use it. I don't know why I need this stick, but it could come in helpful.
Exactly.
Get handy. Next thing you know, they're shaving you down to a point, and it's like next thing you know, it's like, oh, I could use that.
I think at
too.
some point instinct would take over. It's
Yeah.
whether we call it survival instinct or just
But if
rabbit.
we teach our kids this at a younger age, like my granddaughter Lainey, she has a fire starter, she has a bow and arrow, she has a slingshot. She we try to get her all that kind of stuff because she likes Naked and Afraid, So she watches that, but I'm glad that she was into like watching that because she even went and we went camping and she got her own mussels to try her own mussels. Of course, her and Pepe had to cook them, and she's like, but at least she was willing to try. Pepe did though.
Yeah.
So do you have any psychic forethought into what the future is going to be as far as society?
Like I said, I think we're going to be against each other.
That's happening now.
I was gonna
Anyway.
say,
in a massive form. So
that's happening now anyway.
So like once they wipe out this city. All right. So look.
You seen that, or is that?
Oh yeah.
Do I have to put the tower up in my
What did
front
I
yard
say?
right
Did
now,
you
or-
within the next 3 years? Right? Did I say 3 years time
I
frame?
think you said like 3 years. Yeah.
So the whole brownout or blackout that they're predicting and stuff like that. Some people say it's supposed to only last a few days or whatever. I think it's going to be months. Like, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be done and over with like that, So in like Manhattan, there's enough food to last the population there for 3 days in those supermarkets.
I want to stop you right there, just because of the fact that the word blackout could be taken and used many different ways. Now, one of the things that, like, let's say that you have a transportation trucking blackout. Really, just in to jive what you just said, 3 days. If trucking stops, there's things aren't getting
To those
moved.
grocery stores,
Right, and next thing you know, to your point, 3 days supply gone.
And then
now
what's that population going to do once that supply is gone? They're going to go to the next biggest city or the next area to get what they need.
Until it's all depleted.
Exactly.
Well, you blow up the George Washington Bridge like you're talking about.
Yep. That bridge scares
I don't
me.
go on that bridge
Yeah.
either. I don't know either. What
There's
about
been
you? Do you go on that bridge?
Tons of death on that bridge.
I just don't like going to that area in general, and
Yeah.
you have to tap and Z, and then you're like, crap, I missed the exit. I guess I'm going to GW.
But so if you think about it too, like people aren't going to want to farm and get their own food. People are in general lazy these days.
Yeah, you can't text for it. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't have Grubhub come and deliver your food for you, or Instacart or something like that.
DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to, like, I think it is going to come a time where we're going to have to rely on our own natural resources to survive. And I think it will happen in my lifetime. So, nope.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Can I point something out really quick?
Yeah.
See how you stand, because you're like, you can say what you want, but I'm going to
closed up.
I'm going to think.
Oh, yeah, he's closed up.
Like, whatever, go ahead. I'll listen.
So
I'll
what's
say
your
what
No,
you
I
want.
actually, no, I,
And I know to you, it's like, no, this is just how I'm comfortable. And it's like, right.
no, this is the way I was taught to stand.
You were
Really?
taught to stand
Yes,
that
I was
way?
taught to stand
By
that
who?
It's
You're
either
supposed to be
military or
Training,
police.
training.
Yeah, training.
Training.
If you
Are you
ask anybody
military
that's
or-
into body language and everything, they'll say that right there means I'm all closed up. I'm not listening, but I am, but I'm
I'm
not.
paying attention,
also
but I'm
guarding myself
concentrating.
because I
don't
wanna
It's
be-
defensive.
Yeah, my husband stands like that a lot too because
Is,
military training with him
Yeah.
is
Well, I
it's
was
the quickest to
I was in the Air Force Auxiliary as
Yeah,
a cadet,
so,
so we
yeah.
had to stand like this, or we had to stand in a certain way. And public safety, when it just was standing at attention and want to seeing what's going on and listening, but not actually forming an opinion.
because his
And not allowing
body,
yourself to be
body's
vulnerable.
his
Yeah.
body language says, "Don't mess with me."
I'll mess
Pretty
with
much what it is.
But I do believe that we're headed in a bad direction. I don't know about. I mean, blackouts could happen for any reason, but I do believe we're headed in a bad direction, and I could possibly see people fighting back into what's going on right now. So, and it's very possible. Like,
And most
honestly, I tell my wife all the time, especially the way education's running now and the way kids are being brought up in this country and everything else. The other countries are just laughing, waiting to take
Oh,
over.
yeah.
So I think there's going to be a bigger
Yep.
problem in the future. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime, your lifetime, or when. Who knows?
Who knows?
But I think it will come eventually.
Yeah. And I think that like doomsday preppers, like they had it made like back in the day when they thought, you know, they were prepared. I think more and more people need to prepare themselves for it.
Laugh at some of those shows, but I think they have somewhat of the.
Yeah, like some of them are like unrealistic, and
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god! But you know, like they make a lot of sense.
Like the ones that have the electronic bomb shelters with the
Yeah.
fans in it. Well, if there's a
Fan
there's
is
going to
gonna-
be no
yeah.
fan running on electricity when that happens.
Yeah.
But-
That's true. That's
It's-
true.
I think
Once they
you
have
to be
generators
prepared.
and lots of
They need fuel for those,
lots of
and
fuel and
you know the ventilations and the nuclear apocalypse. It said could happen. Well, all that nuclear apocalypse is going to be sucked down into your bomb
so
shelter
just-
with your fans.
It can happen. Just as an example, Yellowstone is Yellowstone. That's like
The
if that
volcano?
volcano
Yeah.
erupts, you know, even here over here, it's going to affect us a great deal. They say that we can have like 1 inch to 2 inches of ash. But it's wiping out everything over on that side of the United States, and
Mhm.
that's where like a lot of
Will
our
come
crops and stuff comes from. So what happens at that point? You know,
Yeah.
and they say it's due to erupt any day, like any time.
yeah, they've
now.
been saying California's going to fall into the ocean too. So
Well, California's been burning, so it's a little different. So
I can't wait till that.
yeah.
all right, guys, thank you for coming on by. Heather, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thanks
and,
for having me.
No, will you come back?
Yes.
No, that means no.
Why does yes mean
You're standing
no?
with your hands in your back
Yeah, yeah.
pocket.
I know because I don't have anywhere else.
Yeah,
to put
I'll
them.
be back.
You
I'll
know.
be good. All right.
I'm all open. See, I'm all open. Why would you say if I say yes right to you, you look at me and you say that means no? That's not very nice, Mike. Come on.
It's because you're from Oakdale.
See, there you go.
But I have all my
No.
teeth, so you never know.
Wow.
It's because they took swamp out of black
No, but
ash.
then I moved up to Griswold and Lisbon. I realized whew, I still have all my teeth. I'm pretty.
That's what happened to me
doing
too.
pretty good. Yeah.
The opinions expressed by our guests here on SNSN
Nah.
are not necessarily those of
No.
staff, management, or advertisers.
I'm still wondering why you assume my yes meant no. Mike.
I don't know.
Goodness.
Whatever. I'm getting a sandwich.
All right.
I'm hungry. Have a good day, everyone. Ladies, thank you very much. Hopefully, we will see.
Thank you.
I know we'll see
Thank
you next
you.
Thursday.
I'm always
You're
here.
a blast. I think you need to come back.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Rich,
Giddy up.
we got to have coffee talk, man.
Awesome. Let's
All right.
do it.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow with Paul Ash and Chris Goodenough right here on SNSN.
Reliable plumbing and heating services are just a phone call away when you contact the professionals at McGuire Plumbing and Heating in